Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugga and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2, and true to form I missed a video yesterday, but yesterday was a hard day for me. I became depressed and just was having a bad day. I just didn't feel like recording. But we're back today, and good news. I've got all the updated, at least since I last checked, Jazzy Cat mods installed, so we got all that. I've also got a few mods on standby for when I decide to buy my first truck, and I'm giving something one more chance because Truck Sim Map is not updated to work with this. You can use the older version of Truck Sim Map, but there are some missing roads. Like I said, I don't want to deal with that. So in this case, I'm giving Pro Mods another chance. I really like the look of Pro Mods. It just hasn't worked, but things have been a little better, so I'm going to give the Pro Mods another shot. So let's look at our quick jobs. As you can see here, the Pro Mod map. I feel that it's smaller overall than Truck Sim, but that's a good thing because it allows them to put more detail, less mistakes, because you know Truck Sim goes all through Italy, Sicily, the top of Europe, and into France and Spain and all that. And this one, as you can see, comes more north and even goes as far as the islands here, and even all the way out to Iceland. So pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. We're gonna see how it goes. We shall see. Anyways, we can't drive that far anyways. So 22-ton tanker for 11,000. 15 tons of milk. 22-ton tanker. Office items. 18-ton champagne. I don't know, this is considerably less, but I like the fact it's the new Mercedes. That's alright. We'll do the tanker. Wow, I didn't know I could drive 705 kilometers already. Pretty nice. Besides, the tanker's in a big Volvo, so it can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. How far is this? Nope. Nope, no. Damn. Price. Okay. I really don't want to drive the old DAF. I don't. I don't know, man. 28 tons of champagne. You know, I like the truck. So, I'm not gonna go all political on you today. Can you imagine that? Wait a minute. F4. First things first. Is it all F4? Yeah, I'm sorry. Mirror adjust. Adjust them out. It kind of sucks that you have to do this on every truck. Okay, 5. Adjust that out. 6. Adjust that out. Oh, 4. It doesn't matter really because I don't use this mirror, but I'm going to adjust it out anyways. And then F4 again. We bop our seat back. Okay. Okay. Now we're good. I have no idea what my dog's barking at. So, the personal things I wanted to talk about are, number one, despite breaking my diet 3 times recently, well, it's alright. And I don't know why my lights weren't on. And I did break my diet 3 times recently. Twice I've gone to McDonald's and gotten a value meal and a large, 20-piece chicken nugget. I don't know why I do that. And then once I went to the local food mart here, Foodland, and bought a quite large sandwich. The type where you basically cut a piece of French bread in half. Yeah, that's what I did. So I did that, and I've done it 3 times. The most recent being last night. Although today I hardly ate anything at all, and I'm not kidding. Until about 4 o'clock, I ate a couple bananas, and that was it. Really weird. But be that as it may, I think maybe I have lost a little weight. I went to the hardware store today and bought some line for the weed eater I have, and I wanted to do some trimming. Of course, that's difficult for me at my size. I can only do a little bit, and then I have to sit down and rest, and then do a little, sit down and rest, and that's that's how I constantly work. And to my surprise, I was able actually to do much more than I thought I would. I mean, I had to sit. I think I sat a total of 4 times, but I did a fair amount for me now. Not the average person. I did a fair amount for me, and I was surprised. And even more surprising was my back did not hurt. It didn't hurt at all. I was pretty amazed at that. What did hurt was my right arm. Not just from holding the machine and working with it. When I sleep half the night laying down. I would usually wake up to go use the bathroom. When I come back to sleep, my back's too sore to lay back down, and I can only lay on my left side. If I try and lay on my right side, I just can't. I end up in pain in like no time. So usually what I end up doing is I end up stacking up the pillows that I have behind my back and sleeping in a sitting position. And I sleep that way for the rest of the night. And when I sleep like that, my arms tend to dangle to the sides. Now, it's usually not a big deal. However, a couple months ago, maybe, my right arm at the elbow started hurting from that. And I'm not sure why. And it hasn't gotten any better. It may have even gotten a little worse. And to, top that off, the only way I can actually, sleep without it being in pain is by crossing it over my my chest or my stomach. I usually tuck my hand inside my waistband of whatever I'm wearing to keep it supported. So that's interesting enough by itself, really. And after doing all that weed eating, I mean, my arm is actually bad enough still in terms of strength. The beer mug that I have that I use for my juice, I have trouble picking it up. It actually hurts. Fortunately, I have a doctor's appointment early in August. I'm going back to my doctor for a follow-up, and I'm going to have her check my arm out. But yeah, you know, it's pretty good news. I may also decide to see a behavioral specialist. I love that term now. They're no longer called psychiatrists or shrinks or psych doctors or anything like that. No, now they're behavioral specialists. Jeez. Whatever. I may ask to see one. And the reasoning behind that is it's not even been 2 months since my wife passed away. So I'm not... why'd you slow down? So I'm not healed in any sense of the term. But I'm healing, as you can tell. So what's going on? Well, this truck definitely does not have the best engine. Not to be suffering this much on the hill. But damn it. I forget where I put my high beams because I keep changing my setups. But I am having a harder time than I thought I would, and the hardest and most difficult part of it, and I'm just gonna be straight with you guys, is I'm lonely. I'm very lonely. You know, for several years before she passed, my wife and I were quite literally side by side almost all day, every day. My wife would be with me. We'd be sitting next to each other playing computer games, watching videos, or one of us would be taking a nap while the other one was up. All kinds of things. We were always together. We talked, you know, some, and we laughed some, and all these different things. Well, not anymore, obviously. And I don't get out. I'm not a go out and cruise person because, number one, I don't have a lot of money, and number two, I really do get tired of people looking at me because of my weight. It really does bother me. You know, I don't feel like I fit in anywhere. No pun intended on that one, by the way. I talk with my mother-in-law. Her and I are actually getting along pretty well now, despite things that happened in the past, and that makes me happy. I try and talk with my sister-in-law, but it tends not to go so well. Don't know what else to say really about that. It's just, I'm lonely. I spend most of my time in my room watching YouTube, watching Twitch, or trying to play a video game and just not because it's too quiet. I don't go to sleep without my TV on. You know, it's really that simple. I don't go to sleep without my TV on. I fall asleep most of the time watching YouTube, but not always. Sometimes I'll just watch TV. My TV, my Samsung, yeah, that was a little risky, and I shouldn't do it on that upcoming corner. But my Samsung, I can watch YouTube without my computer, as long as I've got to hook up to the internet, which I can do wirelessly, but I have the Samsung wired into my modem, and it's sitting right there. So I set that up. And, yeah. I'll usually pick one of the people I'm subscribed to and just queue up one of their series and fall asleep listening to that, you know. And then when I wake up in the middle of the night to like use the bathroom or whatever, I'll I'll shut it off and go back to sleep. So overall, it's pretty nice, but man, I don't know. I really do need someone to talk to, because I don't think everything's off my chest. You can only complain to the empty air so much. One interesting thing that is happening, and I'm not kidding about this, and it kind of creeps me out a little bit, if I'm to be honest with you. This is no joke. I've gone to a couple websites, not hookup sites, but sites that, you know, are for like big guys, big women, you know. They call them fat acceptance sites. I don't quite agree with that term, but I also don't know what else to call them. And I've been looking for just companionship, friendship. You know, I've been trying to fill that lonely void. And much to my surprise, I've gotten a lot of interest in me. Well, a lot being a few people. I consider that a lot. And before I go any further, let me explain. I am not looking for long term. I am not looking to replace my wife already. I am in no way near anywhere close to doing something like that. Okay? I'm looking for friendship, companionship, and if something casual develops out of it, if you know what I mean, then so be it. I've had a lot of interest from how do I put this? Well, direct, I guess. I've had a lot of interest come from younger women, and I use the term women a little loosely, considering that the oldest one that has talked to me and has been kind of chatting me up is 25. The youngest is 19. Yeah. Now for some guys, this would be great. For me, it's kind of like, I'm old enough to be your dad. You realize that? They all do. And yes, I know they are actually women. They're not guys pretending to be. I've seen each of them. Right? I kick with them and I get pictures. You know, I've gotten a face picture from each one taken from a phone that was time-stamped, because that's kind of a requirement for me. I have been on the internet too long to not know that people lie and guys pretend to be women and whatnot. So I say, you know, I'll talk to you, but you forgive me until I have concrete proof of who you are. I'm going to be very cautious and guarded about you. And each one has provided me with a photo. A couple have talked to me, you know, face to face on Skype. And it's very strange. It feels very strange to have all of these younger women out of nowhere suddenly interested in me. And I suppose the funny part will be, if I do come around to a point where I want another relationship, no one will be anywhere to be found. See, here's the hard part. In the long run, I know that I want to fall in love again. I know that. I don't feel it right now, and I don't want it right now, but I know in the long run, I want to fall in love again. I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. The hard part of it all is not only just going to be finding the right person, but it's beautiful, man. Just look how beautiful that is. The hard part about it all is I still want a chance to be a father, you know? I can't help my logical side. My logical side is kind of like set everything up for when my emotional side is ready. I'd still like a chance to be a father. I want to be a dad. You know, I want children. Joy and I weren't able to have children due to complications of health and size. And I realize now that I really got to shut off that rumble stripe. And I realize logically I have a chance now to be a dad again. And maybe finding someone younger isn't such a bad thing, because it would probably be my best chance to find somebody to not just to fall in love with, but somebody that'd be willing to have children. The hardest part is, you know, living in Hawaii. You know, not many people live close by, and nobody that I met lives close by. As a matter of fact, some of them that I met, a couple that I met, you know, one literally lives in Cairo in Egypt. Another one lives in Istanbul. So, yeah, great. But that doesn't matter in the long run. The thing for me though is I'm probably going at some point after a year or two, when I get bills paid down and stuff, I am probably going to move. Back to the mainland. I just don't know where. I don't know if I'm going to move to Florida with my father or Massachusetts with my mother. My father would be in a better position to help me, would be more stable, and I'd have more of an opportunity to go on my own. But my mother would be back to familiar territory. Even though I've been away for 15, will be 17 years by the time that I move. I think I need to readjust my steering. But any way that you flip it, I don't need my lights anymore. But any way that you flip it, well, let me cap off my moving with my mother as well, saying that the kind of advantages, I wouldn't have to find a place to live on my own for a while. Whereas with my father, I would have to try and I'd have to try and find a place of my own to live fairly quickly. With my mother, I wouldn't, because I would actually probably become my mother's caretaker. I would be put on her medical insurance, and it would actually be a source of income for me to take care of her. She doesn't need a lot of taking care of, but to help her, it would be mostly doing things like cooking, helping to clean the house, things like that. and things like that. But on the negative side, with my father setting up my own place, I have my own place. With my mother, I'll be 40 something years old, living at home, taking care of his mother. Yeah, that'll do well when looking to impress women, don't you think? Try and explain that one. Yeah, I moved to Hawaii for 15 years because I fell in love with somebody out there. She passed away. I lived in Hawaii for a little while longer, then I decided to come home and take care of my mother. It sounds really good, but there's still the fact that you're 40 something years old, living at home, taking care of your mother. So, yeah, I don't know. But nothing's set in stone either. In the long run, I may still choose to stay here in Hawaii. You know, I may find someone here. I may fall in love here. It's possible that I'm going to be here long enough. You never know. I'm staying here for a few reasons: to pay down debts, to pay down bills, to pay off my wife's car, and I feel responsible for my mother-in-law. You know, I honestly do. I feel some responsibility, because if I leave, my mother-in-law is basically only going to be here with her daughter and her son-in-law, because her son has moved downtown. So, well, and you know, her grandkid too, my niece. So, oh, shut up. And just to be fair, things usually are fine, but they can go very rough and very poorly between my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. That's just how things are. Regardless of who starts it, in the end it always ends up the same. Plus, with my sister-in-law and her husband working, that means my mother-in-law is going to be home by herself more often, especially with my niece going to school. And she has health problems. I'm not going to go into what, because it's private. But she does have health issues and things to be concerned about due to health. So there's also that. By having me here, if something happens, there's someone here. I really like my mother-in-law. I respect her. Even when we were at our worst odds, I still respected her to some degree or another. She's a very hard-working woman. She does a lot of stuff for being in pain at times and having hard days, and she puts up with a lot of things. I have a lot of respect for her. Despite all that, I could never get around to calling her like mom. And that may stem from a long time ago, even though, my mother has, long since gotten over the way she used to be. My mother said, don't ever call anyone else mom. Please don't call anyone else mom. And I'm not going to go into why she said that. I understand now why she said it. So that's just, you know, kind of how it's been. And I don't know if it has something to do with that or it just doesn't feel right to me to say, oh yeah, this is my mom. This is my stepmom. No, not stepmom. My dad's wife is my stepmom. This is my, you know, this is my mother-in-law. So that doesn't sound right either. Calling her by her first name doesn't sound right either. But fortunately, she has a nickname that a lot of people call her, so that's what I actually call her. I call her by her nickname, and it feels right. So I don't know. Whatever. But like I said, it's so far in the future that I'm unsure of what to do with it, you know? I'm unsure what's going to happen or where things are going to end up, or where they're going to go. So, take it for what it's worth right now, I guess. The most difficult part is being alone. I'm supposed to go to a sleep apnea test. I don't think I have sleep apnea. I'm going to be straight with you. Despite my size, I don't think I have sleep apnea. I think the main reason I have issues being tired through the day is because I don't sleep well at night. Not because of sleep apnea, but because I get up to go to the bathroom, and then I got to adjust everything on my bed to sleep sitting up, then I gotta fall back asleep after doing all that. Then my dogs usually wake me up about 4 or 5 in the morning, usually around 5 in the morning, to take them out so they can go to the bathroom. And then I get woken up again around 8, 9 o'clock because my dogs want to play or they want to go out again, things like that. So I think it's because I don't sleep solidly through the night, because I wake up a lot. I haven't been feeling particularly tired recently either, so I think stress had a lot to do with it. Maybe the way I was eating, because since I started eating healthier, since I started eating better, I've actually had more energy. I haven't had random slowdowns in the middle of the day. I've had pretty even energy throughout the day. Come on. So I don't think it's sleep apnea, and I don't know if I could. I don't know how well I could do a sleep apnea test, and the reason behind that is simply glad I moved over. The reason behind that is because, well, it's twofold. Number one, I won't have my TV, so I won't have that light source that keeps my room from being completely dark. I won't have that noise in the background. I won't have that background noise. And the second reason is I won't have my dogs. So even that reason is twofold of itself. One, my dogs won't be sleeping with me. One dog sleeps up curled in my arms, while the other one sleeps behind my legs. Yeah, I'm swinging it like this on purpose. Yeah, I gotta turn the steering back up, I think. But I'll do that after delivery. We're almost there. So there's that. Plus, I'll be worried about them. They don't go without me very long because I'm home most of the time. And I always worry about them when I'm not here, that something may happen. And nothing against, again, nothing against my wife's family, but due to past experiences, I'm just going through. Yeah, you can find me for that. Due to past experiences, I'm not confident in other people's abilities to take care of my dogs when I'm not here. So I'll be constantly worried about them. It's bad enough that on the 25th, I gotta take them down to the animal shelter between 9:30 and 10 and drop them off so that they can be fixed. You know, I'm getting them both fixed because, you know, I have one male, one female. I can't afford to take care of puppies. I can't. So I'm gonna get them both fixed. And the only reason I'm able to do it is because there's what's called a MASH clinic here on Maui. You know, non-spayed or neutered animals is a problem here. Particularly feral cats. So, yeah, there is that. Enough. So I am concerned about that. Nice. We'll open up our fragile cargo. I don't suppose I can take the big loan out yet. No, I can't take the $400,000 out yet. So I'm not going to do that. So, yeah. There's a MASH clinic here. And the MASH clinic is they basically spay or neuter your pet depending on what you have for free. So they'll do both of my dogs for free. Plus they'll include a microchip implanted in the ear should they ever get lost or kidnapped or anything. Which for me would be freaking awesome, because if I do end up going back to the mainland, I have to take them with me. And I will not fly with them in cargo. I won't. I won't let them be in a cargo hold of an airplane from here all the way to Massachusetts. No. Small dogs, I can put them in individual pet carriers and put them on the plane with me in the cabin. I've been looking it up and, you know, checking prices and reading the rules and everything. So, they will be traveling with me in the plane if I go back. But, yeah, that's basically all that's going on right now. So that's going to be me done for this episode, folks. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've been enjoying bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bugga. I'm going to be signing out. I'll see you next time.